Thus, a very good morning to all of you, and a very warm welcome to the Science of Mind Club. And this Sunday Club, as you know, we are connecting every time, every week to discuss about some topics related to mind sciences like positive psychology, like neuro-linguistic programming. And this time, the topic of discussion is coaching yourself or self-coaching. Okay, so as the tradition goes, we always start our Sunday with positive and beautiful thoughts. So let me start by sharing some five very powerful, nice, and positive thoughts that I have curated for this time. Starting with the first one, the first picture, as you can imagine, two people sitting together enjoying the sunset. What is this about? It is about holding the space. So hold the space, don't rush to fill it. Anytime in a conversation, when we are connected with people, when we are connected in a heart to heart conversation, just hold that space. I think that is a very, very powerful reminder for us that when we connect with people in our day to day life, how are we actually connecting with them and how are we holding that space? So that's the space we are entering now. And usually what we have seen is that mindfulness practices or self-reflection, they are a very powerful way of connecting back to this space. So sometimes the most powerful tool a coach can have is a well-placed silence, which means that in our silence or in deep listening, new answers to our challenges arrive, new answers to our questions arise. Okay, so sometimes it is important to create that mindful silence, and this club, Science of Mind Club, is one of the way in which we can connect with each other in mindful silence, mindful learning, and be a part of a community which is very, very positive and learning every week. This is a picture of a person who's trying to find his way on the mountain. What it means to me is when you serve something bigger than yourself, you become bigger. No mountain in your life, no challenge in your life is bigger when you are in service to a bigger goal, in service to a bigger purpose in your life. So, this is what it means to me. And, every time when you look back at your life, look back at your year, there should be a goal, which should be a challenging goal, a bigger goal, or something related to your purpose that kinds of drives you to do better day by day. Okay? And another very important aspect of this growth mindset and a learner's mindset is something which I called wonder and curiosity. Okay? So, with the same wonder and curiosity, you have joined the Science of Mind Club. I see each of you who are there on a Sunday morning as curious learners, as people who are ready to learn, or who are, wondering about that how else I can improve on this topic of mindfulness, on coaching, on neuro-linguistic programming. So I would say that the starting of the wisdom is this small thing called curiosity or wondering. So wisdom begins with wondering. And thank you so much, each one of you, for being curious about these topics. And I can assure you, that with that curiosity, you'll be learning a lot. Okay? Now, today's topic is about, this particular theme that I've tried to capture, that every session is a sacred story unfolding, which means that every connect that you have with yourself or with a coachee or with a person, where you're trying to hold this space of mindful awareness, that is a sacred story unfolding. There's, so all it requires for you to do is to settle down, connect yourself, either in your one-to-one self-coaching session, what we have been kind of progressing towards, or connecting with a coach, connecting with a friend, and starting with a mindful awareness. Okay, so this is what is a thought that I want to share with you. And getting started, a very warm welcome to the Science of Mind Club. This is a self-coaching series. We are on the lesson 11. There are 10 sessions which have already gone, and we have explored some various important themes. Now, where this has started, as some of you are joining for the first time, or some of you are following this work on YouTube and you're listening to all those previous recorded sessions, great. So I just want to remind you that the inspiration behind the Science of Mind Club and this self-coaching series are these two gentlemen. The Vietnamese monk, late Thich Nhat Hanh, who wrote almost 70, 75 books in his lifetime, and Marshall Goldsmith, who is the world's authority on executive coaching. And I see Signs of Mind as a vision of helping people, helping leaders who can become better leaders and better coaches. So, this is an initiative of kind of sharing in 30 to 40 minutes format with you every Sunday, every week, topics and techniques related to psychology, NLP, and mindfulness. And why we are doing just 30 to 40 minutes? Friends, I feel that, I'm a big fan of incremental improvement. I'm a big fan of micro actions. So it will not require you to kind of be a part of 2 day boot camp, but what you consistently do week by week, day by day, that is actually building you as a better leader and a better coach. Okay, so if you want to coach yourself, if you want to find solutions to your challenges in life, it's not something that you do one day, but something consistently that you're doing on your day-to-day life that decides that how you can grow as a leader. Okay, and this is a pro bono initiative. It's not related to anything, and the point is that I have gained a lot from my mentors, my coaches. It's just my humble way of paying it forward. Okay, it's my gratitude to all these teachers. This is in no way connected whatsoever to any organizations. I'm just representing the intention of paying it forward. So there's a QR code. If you have not signed up for our guest list, you can just scan it. You can join us now. And if you're still curious, just to kind of summarize, it's a weekly Sunday community of positive people. We learn, apply these concepts, and most importantly, we bridge the gap between information and knowledge by kind of applying it and transforming these concepts. And feel free to share this knowledge if you find it useful. As the Buddhist saying goes, that whatever thing that you like, you can just pick it up and you can share further. Whatever you don't like, that is fine too. Okay, and there is a Google site that I have created for this, and my whole hearted request to all of this community of learners would be that stay curious, because your curiosity will help you grow day by day. Okay, so now jumping into the topic of the day, we have already covered 11 such topics, the last one being a pit stop where we kind of reflected back on whatever we have learned. Now, today is about a very, very important journey in our coaching. Okay, so our coaching journey started almost 10 to 11 sessions back, where we kind of spoken about power of intention, that how important is this intention, holding a positive intention or a goal or intentionality of the purpose, how important it is. Okay, so we started with that. And for the self-coaching journey, our intention was that you yourself are coaching you. So it is your higher self from the future. If you think, if you just close your eyes, imagine that what will you be 10 years from now, 5 years from now, and let that higher self come in today's moment and coach you. So that will be about you coaching yourself, not a coach which is like a guru or a person who's outside your network. No, it is not that. Most of the times the deepest wisdom lies in your hearts of heart. This is where, you know today we want you to kind of connect to that higher self. And today's session, the topic is about connecting with that higher mind, that higher intelligence, which is always, always, always available to you. So it is not something which is out of reach, it is something which is always available. All we need to do is lower down our mental chatter, our internal chatter. In the Buddhist philosophy, they call it monkey mind. Okay? So you are here, just pay attention. How many thoughts are running in your mind? Okay? Maybe one, maybe two, maybe somebody is wondering about what they want to have for lunch. Maybe somebody is already planning for the Sunday or the week ahead. So sometimes our minds are always in the past or they are in the worry of the future. So it is very important to settle our mind, be connected with this higher self, because this higher self is an amazing guide that you have always ignored. And if we lower down the mental chatter, if we detach from the technology around, and if we just center ourselves, we'll find that in the deepest of our minds, deepest of our hearts, there will be a lot of great learnings, great ideas. Okay, all you need to do is set an intention, practice that pause, and ask a question. So, one of my mentors calls it going from the surface level to the deeper level. Okay, connecting with your deeper self, connecting with your higher self. And it is about really, really listening deeply what is going on and where your life wants to take you. And we have to remember that many a times it's not something extra that we need to do. Sometimes we have to just, all we need to do in our life is just to stop and connect with our higher self. So, how do you do that? I would say that it would require a lot of compassion for yourself, for others. If you want to really connect, slow down and connect with yourself. Okay, that is the starting point of a compassion. Not somebody who is really, really busy in their life, running from one need to another, one wants to another, one target to another goal. No, slowing down is a compassionate process. Slowing down, paying attention is an act of compassion. So give yourself that deep compassion. Give yourself that choice. And thank that part of you which always worries about the past, worries about the future. Thank that part that it is doing its duty. It also needs rest. And in this mindful awareness, connect with your core values and core belief. Friends, the coaching journey or the self-coaching journey can definitely be empowering if you are able to find out that what is it as a person, as a human being, that is important to you. Okay? So values are the things that you value in your life. Okay? And it can be anything. Maybe for somebody, it is service. Maybe for somebody, it is family. Maybe for somebody, it is relationship. Or for some people, the belief is that I need to always be in a learning space. Or how I can grow more in my life. So in that mindful awareness, the technique is that you find that what are your values and you jot down the values which are important to you. So there will be like 8 or 10 values that you can think of. Okay, like one of my values is learning mindset. One of my values is creativity. One of my values is connecting with people and always, staying connecting. So what are your values? Just jot them down. And if any of you would like to share with the larger group, you can use the chat window and you can just put in that what is your highest value or what are your top 2 highest values. So these values are something that will help you create a powerful coaching journey for yourself. Tune into that higher self, find out what are your top values, what are the top 3, what are the top 10. Okay? And from those values, we will also form some empowering beliefs because there have to be some core beliefs. I was fortunate recently. I interacted with one of the great leaders. His name is Dr. Velumani and self-actualization. Thank you, Devajot, for sharing that value. So Dr. Velumani, his value is that how can a person always, be inspiring, not give up, and uplift others. In my interaction, I could sense that what the person's life work or what the person was doing in his or her life is nothing but the embodiment of the value. Akhilesh says family, empathy, great. Friends, this means that we are in the right group, we are in the right tribe where we have a shared values as well. I can connect so much with what Divya Jyot is saying, Akhilesh is saying. So go deeper, connect with the values, okay? Because lasting change requires you to go beyond the surface level behaviors and connect with your deeper values and deeper beliefs. Because this is what you as a person stand for. And as Thich Nhat Hanh says, that the deeper you go into yourself, the more compassion you uncover for who you are and what you stand for. Okay? So this is an invitation to go from surface level thinking that leads to recycled results, depth that leads to transformation. Create that depth for yourself and find what are the values, what are the empowering beliefs. Okay? So, one of the empowering beliefs that I hold very true to my heart as a student of neurolinguistic programming. So, I did my neurolinguistic programming course back in 2008. And since that time, I have been a practitioner, master practitioner of this. One of the core beliefs that I really hold close to my heart is that there is no failure, there is only feedback. You either succeed or you get an opportunity to learn. So you see, these values and beliefs will decide that how you will take the course of action in your life and how you will embody whatever you're believing in. Okay, because success and failure, it's like a sine wave. In your life, you'll be getting a lot of success. There will be times which are challenging. Who's there in this life whose heart is not broken? Who's there who has not faced a personal loss or a suffering? It will be there. But your attitude or your response to that particular incident decides the direction of your life. Okay. So life is full of ambiguity. Life is full of pain, suffering, discomfort. But as there was a Zen saying somewhere, it said that relax, everything is in chaos. It's being okay with that ambiguity, living with that ambiguity. Nowadays, there's so many things which are shifting around us, in our workplaces, in our homes, the kind of data we are consuming, the way how generational AI, Gen AI, is kind of mapping our own user behaviors, mapping our own. Once I was just sitting with ChatGPT and I asked a question. ChatGPT is kind of answering me answers which are better than what I have thought. So in a way, ChatGPT has went way deeper into my persona than what I have done. Okay. So a point of reflection that I want to bring to this group of learners who are so motivated to learn even on a Sunday morning is that what am I not seeing beneath the surface of my current challenge? If you look at your life, what is one thing that you are not seeing which is beneath the surface, and how you can connect to that deeper self, that core belief, to get to the root of your thoughts, root of your being. Okay, because when you connect with the depth of your being, we find the roots of our becoming. So it is important for us to know that who we are as a leader, as a coach, as a person, and how do we want to stay true to what we believe in. Okay. The exercise or the task for the day that I would like to give to this group is that you go back, take a journal, take a pen, take a diary, and you sit in that reflective silence and you create what we call as your top values and your top beliefs. So, step number one, write down 10 values that you believe. Step number two, give a priority order to those values. What is your topmost priority? Okay, some of you are very, very clear. I want the others to bring that kind of a clarity. And then write 5 empowering, self empowering beliefs that no matter what comes in your life, whatever the challenge, ambiguity, you will stay true to those beliefs. Okay, so that's the first step. And this step will help you clarify that what you stand as a person. Okay, because as somebody said, that what got you here won't get you there. So what got you here are a set of core values and beliefs, and what will take you there will be empowering yourself with more of such inspiring beliefs, inspiring values. Okay, self coaching means asking not just what, but why, and why now. And this is where, ask yourself this question: what is it that is the intention for you from going from, let's say, you 1.0 to you 2.0. Okay? Vignesh 1.0 to Vignesh 2.0, Vijender 1.0 to Vijender 2.0. Okay, so what is it that inspires you? And a lot of it is in the deeper structure. What now, and what does it mean to me? What is it that it means to you? Okay, personally, you can have your own learnings out of this exercise of connecting. Okay, so one of my mentors, he calls this exercise as the inner governance. When we connect with ourselves, we deeply get connected with that inner guide, inner compass, and from the inner governance, that higher self, we come out with some directions for the future. So in our coaching journey, it is important that we ask the right questions, we hold the right silence, and we let that higher self guide ourselves. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. This is an invitation to go deeper, connect with yourself, and I would say that it will be a start of a beautiful journey ahead. Okay, you take that first step of connecting with the being that has never stopped to connect with you, your higher self, and you let that higher self guide you on a path which is a beautiful path towards self discovery, self actualization. Okay, on that note, I'll take a pause here. If there are some questions, I'll be happy to answer. Be free to share this exercise with, people around you, your friends, and take care of your relatives, take care of your parents, most importantly, and keep learning, because learning is fun. I'll take a pause here. If somebody has a question, you can either use the chat window, or you can go off mute and ask me directly, and I'll be, happy to answer it. Vijinder, Vignesh, Riser, Divyajot, Shravan, any one of you has any question? All right, no questions. That's fine too. And for all the new members who have joined today, again, a very
I I
warm.
do I
Yeah.
do I do have a question.
Mhm.
You also said that, what are some of the beliefs that you have about yourself? In
Hmm.
your experience, what are some of the strongest beliefs that have worked in a person's life to change their reality?
Great question, Divyajot. Thank you. So, yeah, so there are two dimensions to your questions, what I can understand, and maybe I'll try to answer it. One is that what are some of the beliefs that a person has, kept close to himself or herself that has changed their reality. There are the, empowering beliefs, that is one part of the story. Other is reality. So, see, my thought process is reality is different for everybody. A challenging experience for one person can be very, very inspiring for that particular person. For some other person, it can be that, oh, my world is going topsy-turvy. Okay, you see, so the reality can be very different to two different people, and the way how they perceive the reality, that is the real difference. So, you know, the belief or the empowering belief that a person has, it is very, very personal to that person. They can have any idea. And like the word belief, if you write belief, You will also find lie, lie, in between that word, which means that whatever we believe in, it may be true, it may be false for anybody. But how do you kind of create beliefs which are self-empowering in any situation? Okay, so my take to you is, or my 2 cents on what you are bringing as a question as um, thinking point, there is that always have something that you believe in, which is empowering in nature, which is, I would say, positive affirmation of yourself. Yeah, because there are people who are having a lot of limiting beliefs. There are people who have an imposter syndrome. Now, that's not going to help. Whatever you believe in will manifest into something, and it is okay that you have an empowering belief in a situation. Did that answer your question to an extent?
Oh, no, well, for example, I do understand affirmations and all, and then there is another school of thought which also says that they believe that affirmations do not work.
Correct.
And but what I wanted to, my question was that in your experience, or since you are from this field,
Mhm.
it's good to have beliefs like, okay, I mean, like, especially when you are changing on work, when you're working on changing your reality, you may
Correct.
believe that, okay, you do have a divine connection, or like, in my case, where I come from a very rational engineering logical background, and I'm trying to change my reality into something which is spiritual, divine, and intangible kind of a reality. So
Mhm.
it's a good to have a belief like, okay, I do have a divine connection. I have a confidence in myself. I'm looking for signs from the universe and I'm manifesting that. It's good
Yeah.
to have those kind of beliefs. And I do have those kind of beliefs. But my question was that in your experience, what are some of the beliefs that are really like solid and have worked, like, the best of the beliefs? I mean, it's good to have an
Mhm.
affirmation. It's good to speak to you yourself in front of the mirror. I know, I do understand all of that. But it's like, what is that golden kind of a belief that works, that kind of a thing? So
Yeah. Yeah.
that was my question. Since you are studying this and you are also
Yes.
like teaching this, so that was my question.
See, I would say that again there is a continuum. There are people, as you said, who are very, very rational, logical, who say that I I create my own destiny. And then on the other hand of the other end of the continuum are people who will say that no, my destiny or my luck has always favored me. Okay. I would say, Divijot, that in my experience, the sweet spot lies somewhere in between, somewhere in the middle. It's not that always we can say that whatever we are doing is determining, and it is not always we can just be relying on destiny, luck, and karma. So the sweet spot lies somewhere in between, and I have seen in my experience, my coaches or the kind of leaders I admire, they do their best, and at the same time they also kind of do that positive karma kind of a philosophy. What you're saying, they always have that positive intent, positive karma, and affirmation. It is a sweet spot between both of them. There was a book that came out which was called Secret. Now everybody started practicing manifestations, and everybody started just writing all those things down. Now I met a coach, and he said that if Secret is so powerful, then where is my Ferrari? I've been manifesting it for the last 5 years. I would say that you have to do your best. At the same time, you have to also have that positive intent, and it's a mix of two. The symbol that comes to my mind is that yin and yang, where you have to definitely do your best and also be
Mhm.
connected to that higher self. And
Yeah.
right, Vignesh is writing ambitious but lazy. This is the problem I'm facing now. Yes.
Sir, I
So,
hello sir. Hello.
yeah, yeah,
Can
go
you hear
ahead.
me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Sir, Divyaji asked a question about more you do affirmations, the less it becomes
Mm,
happen. Less like to
yeah.
happen. The more you do something,
Mm.
less chance it happen. Sorry about my English. I am just
No issues.
learning about.
No issues.
Okay. Is the answer to her solution is backward law of Alan Watts? Alan Watts. The more you chase something, the less we get that.
First of all, Vignesh, first of all, I admire your spirit, that you want to kind of learn. And Alan Watts, definitely, great writer, speaker, philosopher. Okay? So you can say that philosophically, if you are chasing somebody, something, and it more runs away from you, that can be a philosophical angle. But then definitely, so one is that we definitely have to have a philosophy, we have to believe in something, but we also have to do our best. That is where our discussion came. And yes, both are important. Setting up a goal is also important, setting up an affirmation is also important, and having a positive philosophy, all that is important.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Vignesh, and thank you for your question. And we also see a few other members. If you have any questions, Janvi has joined a little late. So for the members who have joined late, what I'll also do is I'll share today's recording on our YouTube channel. You can go through it at your own pace, okay? And you will find whatever we have discussed. And friends, the way how I'm building this course, it's a 21-part series. We are right in the middle, and I'll be sharing one tool that builds on top of the other. So it's like imagine it like a staircase. Okay, so what we have already covered has brought right us in the middle of the staircase, and we are heading to a very beautiful point of view. Okay. So any other question you have, Janvi, Vijendra, for those who have not asked? If you don't.
My question is like any tool to check our current mindfulness status.
How do I check my current mindfulness status?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Yes.
Great. Good question. I would say that, in psychology, so when I started psychology, we used to have a test for everything. So you say that how mindful you are, or which mindfulness type are you, or, those kind of tests. I would say mindfulness is something which may not fall into any test. If, let's say, you are able to connect with people more heart to heart, if you are able to have deep conversations without getting distracted, okay, you know that you are already mindful. If you have a certain practice, what I have seen is, more than these tests, what work for you is having a practice that goes along the way, building that awareness. Because my teacher who was teaching me mindfulness, her name is Josta, and she's from Netherlands. She says that even after 15 years of practice in mindfulness, I find that I'm at 60% of my mindfulness level. I have been practicing it for almost 7 years since I met her. And I feel that I am at 30%. But will my 30% be good enough, or her 60% is good or bad? I would say it depends. So whatever is the purpose of your mindfulness practice, that is being happy, being connected, enjoying the life fully, that is more important than just kind of measuring it and then kind of comparing with others. Yeah, that is my short answer to you. Thank you. Very, very interesting question.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Hello.
Go ahead, Janvi. Go ahead.
So I have a question. You have mentioned about the positive thinking or positive philosophy, like you should have to remain happy. But what about negative thoughts? Like, if they existed in this universe, so there must be some purpose of it. Like, if we always be so hard on ourselves and keep our mind on positive thinking, then it won't be possible for us. Like, I always chase myself to remain positive, but I end up with a feeling like I'm so hard on myself. So what do you think of that? Negative thinking is really means some purpose for us or something else?
Great question. And Janvi, I'll make that as the last question because we are right on the top of hour. My short answer to your question would be that See, nothing is bad, positive, negative. As somebody asked me a question, and I gave an example of yin and yang. Now, yin and yang is a symbol of this Chinese philosophy, which says that there is a good in bad and there is a bad in good, and they are both two energies which are operating in balance. I would say the key word here is balance. Okay, we have to have balance in our life, and I'm not saying that don't think negative, think negative. But in our life, there is so much negative already we are thinking that we don't have to train our mind to think negative. Even if you sit here and you listen to me, there are so many things negative that can come in your mind about the past, about the future. That is the best thing, because our mind, our brain has evolved from something called as a reptilian brain, the primitive brain, which was tuned to think negative to keep us safe. But what is the problem today is that people get sucked up in a negative spiral, and they don't realize that they have to think positive, they have to uplift themselves, they have to inspire themselves every day. So for that, we have to take a pause, and we have to break that negative pattern and also think. I'm not saying go extreme, but find your balance. Okay, so hope that answers your question, and
Yeah, sir.
thank you so much. Friends, we are right on
Thank you
top of
so
the
much.
hour, and thank you so much for your active participation. And if you need more wonderful thoughts or positive thoughts of inspiration, please feel free to go to this Instagram channel, where you will find a lot of these positive quotes that I keep on sharing. And you will find a great repository of such videos and interviews that I have been doing with people. Sometimes I'm not saying I have all the knowledge. I'm also learning just like you, maybe just few steps ahead or few steps along the way. So I have been fortunate to record a lot of these sessions with coaches on the mind sciences. Feel free to enjoy that on our YouTube channel as well. So thank you so much for your time on this Sunday morning. Until we meet again, have a great Sunday, have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.